So not only did Meghan Markle use the crisis engulfing the British royal family over the weekend to get political at a new event in Hollywood promoting race disharmony that she wasn't invited to, that she gatecrashed at the last minute, as is now her plan.
What went down on that red carpet wasn't your usual celebrity walk-up. It was pure tension wrapped in glamour. Every move, every glance told a story of power plays and hidden shade that most people completely missed. Cameras caught way more than what made it to the headlines, and when you really see what went down between Meghan Markle and those around her, it's wild. Once you catch the real vibe of that night, you'll understand exactly why this story has everyone talking nonstop. But before we break down the crazy details, hit that subscribe button, yes, right now. It only takes a second, and it helps more people find out what really happened. Oh, and don't forget to smash that like button. Trust me, it makes a big difference. Now, I want to know your take. What do you think actually went down between Meghan and Emma that night? Was it straight up shade, a quiet battle for control, or just an awkward moment caught on camera and blown up online? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. All right, let's talk about what really happened over the weekend. Meghan Markle showed up at a big Hollywood event, and here's the kicker. Insiders say she wasn't even invited in the first place. Can you believe that? Reports claim she pulled a last-minute move and basically crashed the event like it was no big deal. The event in question wasn't just any Hollywood gathering, like it was a high-profile gala celebrating Black-owned businesses, something that had quietly run for 6 years. But suddenly, once Meghan Markle showed up, boom, everyone knew about it. Convenient timing, right? Now here's where things start to get juicy. The person who reportedly brought Meghan into the mix was none other than Emma Greta, a powerhouse PR expert and businesswoman who knows exactly how to work a spotlight. And if you've been following these two, you'll remember that Meghan and Emma already had a bit of history. They sat down for a podcast last year that people online called straight up mortifying. So yeah, there's tension there. And when they reunited on that red carpet, it showed big time. Now watch the footage closely because this part says everything. Emma's clearly trying to keep things professional. It's her event after all, and she's the PR queen. She's subtly directing Meghan, guiding her into place for the perfect camera shot. But Meghan? Oh no, she wasn't having it. There's this sharp little moment where Meghan subtly pulls away from Emma's touch. It's quick, but it's impossible to miss. You can even see it in Emma's expression, that flash of surprise, maybe even irritation. The air between them felt cold, tight, and full of quiet competition. This wasn't a friendly link-up between two women supporting each other. It looked more like a silent standoff playing out under the bright lights of Hollywood. It wasn't just tension, it was straight-up competition. Two women, both used to commanding attention, quietly battling for control under the flash of cameras. Picture it. You show up at someone else's event, one you weren't even invited to, and somehow you're competing with the host for the spotlight. That's a bold move, and it takes a certain kind of mindset to pull that off. And honestly, it's not shocking when you look at Meghan's past moments in public. There's always that same pattern, subtle tension, side glances, and that undeniable need to be the one everyone's watching. No matter who's supposed to have the moment, she somehow ends up at the center of it all. But if that first red carpet moment made you squirm, just wait, the next part takes it to a whole new level. As Meghan made her way down the carpet, she had an assistant trailing beside her, working overtime to keep everything flawless. This poor woman had one mission: make sure Meghan looked picture perfect. And she had her hands full because that dress, it wasn't doing Meghan any favors. Observers online noticed it right away. The gown looked loose in places, bunched up in others, and just didn't seem tailored right. Some fashion insiders even whispered that it looked borrowed or possibly rented and not properly altered to fit her frame. So there's Meghan smiling big for the cameras, fully aware every lens is locked on her, while her assistant is crouched down, desperately trying to fix the train and smooth the wrinkles. You can see the effort, the assistant adjusting, tugging, making sure every inch looks right. But Meghan's energy says it all. She's focused on the attention, soaking it in, while her team scrambles behind her to hold it all together. The contrast was impossible to miss. The photographers start snapping away, flashes bursting across the carpet, and Meghan's assistant is still doing her best, reaching out one last time to fix a bit of loose fabric. But then comes the moment that changes everything. Meghan's hand shoots out, not soft, not polite. She straight up swats the assistant's hand away. It's quick, sharp, and impossible to miss. And that expression on Meghan's face? Ice cold. For a split second, she gives this look that practically screams, "You've done enough, step back." The shift in her energy is chilling. You can see the assistant freeze for a moment, clearly stunned before stepping back fast, embarrassed, hurt, and trying not to draw even more attention. Imagine that happening in front of flashing cameras and a crowd full of people watching every move. That's humiliation on display. Now here's the real question. If someone feels bold enough to treat a team member like that in public, right in front of the press, what do you think happens when the cameras aren't around? That's the part that really makes people raise an eyebrow. Let's not forget, Meghan has faced these kinds of accusations before. Former staff members have spoken out, and the palace even launched an internal investigation into her alleged treatment of royal employees. But oddly enough, the results of that investigation were never made public. Why keep it hidden? What was in that report that they didn't want the world to see? And the saddest part? That assistant was only trying to do her job, trying to make Meghan look flawless, trying to save her from a wardrobe slip-up, and ended up getting publicly dismissed in the process. It was a moment that said more than words ever could. That was literally the assistant's whole job. Make sure Meghan looked flawless for her big red carpet moment. But Meghan clearly didn't want her anywhere near that spotlight. She wanted the cameras on her and only her. Anyone else, even someone just trying to help, felt like an intrusion she couldn't stand. It was like she needed that solo shine. No distractions allowed. And here's where things get even more telling. Several body language experts have broken down that exact moment, and their take is wild. They say when someone's truly confident, when they're secure in themselves, they don't react with that kind of cold rejection. That type of move, swatting someone away in public, usually comes from insecurity, from someone who feels like they have to control every single detail to stay on top. And speaking of control, let's talk about what this whole event was supposed to be about. It wasn't meant to be a celebrity showdown. It was a gala celebrating Black-owned businesses, shining a light on economic empowerment and community growth. That's a beautiful cause, no doubt about it. Supporting small business owners, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds, is something that truly matters. But here's the part people couldn't ignore, and it's raising some eyebrows. Meghan walked into that event positioning herself as a champion for diversity, equity, and inclusion. The face of empowerment. Yet, when folks started looking a little closer at her own organization, Archewell, the picture didn't exactly match the message. Reports claim the staff is overwhelmingly white, with barely any visible diversity. That's a huge contradiction for someone preaching inclusivity so loudly. It's a point that people online keep circling back to. If you're going to take the stage for equality and representation, shouldn't your own team reflect those same values you promote so publicly? Now let's be real. There's absolutely nothing wrong with hiring qualified people no matter where they come from. That's how it should be. Skill and merit over everything. But here's the issue. You can't play both sides of the fence. You can't walk into a gala celebrating Black-owned businesses, spotlight your biracial background when it fits the moment, and then turn around and lead an organization that doesn't reflect those same values. That's not advocacy. That's straight-up opportunism. And this isn't the first time people have noticed this pattern. Many observers have pointed out how Meghan seems to adjust certain parts of her identity depending on what benefits her at the time. When it helps to highlight her biracial heritage, she's front and center with it. But when it doesn't, it quietly fades into the background. Look at the circle around her. Most of her closest friends are white, the men she's dated and eventually married are white, and the majority of the people she hires reportedly are too. Yet when the cameras are flashing and the event is focused on diversity or equity, she suddenly steps into the role of activist and symbol of representation. It's that switch up that has people talking. And here's the thing. No one's saying she can't embrace every part of who she is. Everyone has the right to define their identity and connect with their heritage however they choose. But the key word here is authenticity. If your public image doesn't match your private choices, if your words don't line up with your actions, people are going to notice. and they're going to question it. Because when something feels rehearsed instead of real, the world sees right through it. And then, oh, the dress. Fashion watchers couldn't stop talking about it. The moment Meghan stepped out, the comparisons started flying, especially to Vanessa Hudgens, who rocked a nearly identical silhouette at the Oscars. But here's the difference. Vanessa's version looked flawless, every inch tailored, styled to perfection, like it was made just for her. It screamed elegance and money, the kind of look that happens when a professional team makes sure not a single seam is out of place. Now, Meghan's take on that same look, let's just say it didn't quite land the same way. Critics joked that it looked like she grabbed it straight off a rack, maybe even borrowed it from someone last minute, and just slipped it on without a single fitting. One fashion critic even asked, seriously, how expensive is a tailor? And honestly, that question hit hard. Because let's be real, Meghan has the resources. She's got access to the best stylists, tailors, designers, and glam teams money can buy. So why does she keep showing up to major events looking like the prep work stopped halfway? Is it carelessness? Is it a matter of taste? Or does she just not notice when the details are off? Whatever the reason, people noticed. Big time. And then came the photos. Once pictures from inside the event started circulating online, fans and fashion blogs started spotting something strange. Some shots looked a little too polished, faces softened, backgrounds blurred, lighting that didn't quite make sense. One particular image had everyone buzzing. Meghan looked almost superimposed into the frame, while the person next to her was weirdly blurred out. Now sure, we all know event photos get retouched. That's normal in Hollywood. But this wasn't your subtle, airbrushed kind of edit. It looked heavy-handed. And that made people wonder, was someone trying a little too hard to perfect the image? Normally, professional event photos are clean, subtle, and polished, but these, they looked off. The edits were obvious, almost sloppy, and honestly came across as a little desperate. But here's where things really start to come into focus. Because what happened on that red carpet can't be separated from what was happening just days before. While Meghan was striking poses in Hollywood, Prince Harry was thousands of miles away in a London courtroom, facing the media head-on in his ongoing case against the Daily Mail. And what did he tell the judge? He said the press has made Meghan's life a misery, that the constant attention has been unbearable for her. He painted a picture of a woman being crushed under the weight of publicity and scrutiny. But then you look at that red carpet footage, you look at Meghan's face, and tell me, does that look like someone miserable? Does that look like someone hiding from attention? Because what you actually see is someone thriving in it. Her expression lights up the moment the flashes start going off. Every step, every pose, every smile screams confidence and joy under the spotlight. And that's the contradiction that everyone's been talking about. Meghan doesn't seem to be running from the cameras. She's leaning into them. She comes alive in that chaos. The photographers shouting her name, the lights popping from every direction. That's when she looks most at ease, most herself. So when Harry tells the court that the media attention has made her life miserable, people can't help but raise their eyebrows. Because the reality caught on film tells a completely different story. She's not dodging the spotlight, she's chasing it. And in those moments, it's clear this is exactly where she wants to be. She's definitely not retreating from public life. If anything, she's diving straight back into it. Showing up at events she wasn't even invited to? That's not avoidance, that's strategy. And it matters because it points to a bigger pattern that's hard to ignore. Think about it. Prince Harry turned his entire world upside down for her. He gave up his royal duties, left his home country, distanced himself from his family, and built a whole new life overseas, all on the claim that Meghan couldn't handle the pressure and needed to escape the brutal media spotlight for her own mental health. But here's the question. If that's true, then why does she keep walking right back into the glare of the cameras? Why does she seem to seek out the very attention they said was destroying her? And now we've got the infamous white chocolate situation, the perfect example of how Meghan plays the publicity game. She's been pushing her lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, trying to build hype around her products. One of those items? A white chocolate bar that, according to insiders, just isn't selling. It's reportedly the least popular product in her lineup, and sales have been struggling. So what's her next move? She pulls Harry into it, literally. They film a cute little couple promo video, but once you look closer, it's painfully obvious what's going on. Meghan makes sure to emphasize the words white chocolate loud and clear, not once, but multiple times. She's not asking Harry what he wants, she's telling him, and the audience, what he's getting. White chocolate. It's marketing disguised as a sweet moment. And Harry? He just stands there holding it, smiling awkwardly, not even taking a bite. People couldn't help but notice. If it was really that good, wouldn't he at least taste it? The whole thing came off more like a sales pitch than a romantic gesture. And honestly, it left everyone wondering who was really calling the shots in that video. Hemp and flour sprinkles with white chocolate. Really? That sounds like something dreamed up by someone who thinks they're a gourmet genius, but is actually just tossing trendy ingredients together and hoping for a miracle. It's giving Pinterest experiment gone wrong, not luxury brand breakthrough. But honestly, that's not even the biggest takeaway here. The real story is what this says about Harry's role in the whole operation. At this point, Harry looks less like a partner and more like a prop in Meghan's growing list of commercial moves. His main value to the brand, and let's be honest, to any of their projects comes from one thing: his royal connection. Not his skills, not Meghan's supposed business flair, but that one word: Prince. That's the hook, the selling point, the reason people even pay attention. Because strip away the royal title and what's left? A former actress whose Hollywood career never really took off, and a man who spent his whole life in an institution that didn't prepare him for real-world work. Together, they're trying to sell expensive lifestyle products that barely anyone's buying. It's like they've built their entire empire on the very system they claim to have escaped, still cashing in on the crown while criticizing it every chance they get. And that's where the hypocrisy hits hardest. They want the perks, the royal glow, the headlines, the VIP treatment, but none of the responsibility that comes with it. They talk about independence and privacy, but everything they do screams publicity and privilege. They left royal life to find freedom, yet still expect the world to treat them like royalty while they live it up in California doing whatever they please. They want the crowns without the duties, the prestige without the pressure, and that contradiction is exactly why people can't stop talking about them. While Meghan was busy soaking up the flashbulbs and Hollywood attention, the real royals were actually dealing with serious global matters. Prince William had just touched down in Riyadh for a major diplomatic visit to Saudi Arabia. Not a red carpet, but real political business. He spent hours in discussions with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, handling issues that carry international weight and actual consequences. But even that high-stakes trip risked being overshadowed by the latest scandal surrounding Prince Andrew and the explosive Epstein files. And this is where the contrast between Meghan and the working royals becomes painfully clear. William and Catherine released a short, respectful statement. Calm, direct, and focused on what really matters. They expressed deep concern over the ongoing revelations and extended sympathy to the victims. No drama, no self-focus, just dignity. Now, compare that to how Meghan handles any controversy. Whenever her name's in the mix, it somehow always circles back to her. Every issue becomes about how she's been wronged, she's been attacked, she's misunderstood. Even when the situation has absolutely nothing to do with her, she finds a way to slide into the narrative and make herself the centerpiece. It's like she can't resist being at the heart of every story, no matter the topic. Meanwhile, the Andrew situation is dead serious, and it's not some tabloid scandal, it's potentially criminal. Newly surfaced documents allegedly show that Andrew forwarded confidential government information directly to Jeffrey Epstein. Now the police are reviewing those materials and considering whether to launch a formal investigation. That's the kind of royal crisis that actually demands integrity and accountability, something far removed from Hollywood appearances and self-promotion. And moments like this make the contrast between Meghan's spotlight chasing and the monarchy's real responsibilities impossible to ignore. We're the ones keeping this whole spectacle alive. Every viewer, every comment, every scroll through red carpet footage. We're the ones breaking down every glance, every gesture, every frame. It's wild when you think about it. The more people criticize Meghan, the more relevant she becomes. It's this strange, unspoken exchange where everyone knows it's toxic, but no one seems willing to look away. And make no mistake, this story is far from over. There are more events coming, more photo ops, and you can bet there'll be more behind-the-scenes revelations from people who've worked with the Sussexes and are finally ready to spill what really went down. The tension, the drama, the contradictions, they're not fading anytime soon. The only question left is whether any of this will spark real change, or if we're just trapped in the same never-ending cycle of fame, scrutiny, and spin. But here's why this matters, because moments like these expose the gap between public image and private reality. They show us who people really are when the cameras are rolling and when they think no one's watching. And that's exactly why we can't stop asking questions, can't stop looking closer, and can't stop holding people accountable for the disconnect between what they say and what they do. If we stop paying attention, if we just accept the polished version of the story we're handed, we lose the truth completely. So let's keep watching, keep questioning, and keep the spotlight where it belongs, on accountability. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered analysis, and share this video so more people can see what's really going on. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. What do you think is coming next for Meghan and Harry?